Welcome back. Today I'm going to do something I've been putting off. In fact, I've been putting it off fairly often, is play a rapid game on camera on chess.com. Ever since I've started playing these on camera and my rating dropped, I've been a little bit nervous every time I do it. Especially the couple of times that the audio messed up. But today I did a test beforehand, and sure enough, the microphone was not being registered by the program. So I had to go through the settings and reset some things. For some reason, every time OBS updates and every time Windows updates, it resets this microphone. But I remembered that Windows updated this morning, so I checked it, and sure enough, the microphone wasn't working, but it looks like it's working now. I'm going to play a 10-minute rapid game with no increments. If you're new to my channel and you don't know what to expect, I'm not a titled player or a chess coach or anything like that. I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. One of the ways that I gauge how much better I've gotten is by my rapid rating, which used to be above 1300, and now it's in the mid-1200s, so maybe I'm not getting better. I don't know. And another caveat or heads up or warning, whatever, is that I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know whether I will get paired. I don't know what kind of opponent I'm going to get, but I am going to click play and I'll do my best, and hopefully you'll get something out of this. Okay, we have been paired. I have the black pieces. I have an opponent that is rated very similarly to me, and I'm guessing that they like cheese because that's what their username says. All right, d4, let's play d5 then. And we're going to get the Queen's Gambit. Okay, I'm going to decline that, I think, by playing this, defending that pawn. Okay, I think that's a normal move. I'm going to play here. I don't know whether or not I want to get this bishop out first or leave it back here with by playing the e-pawn now. But you know what? Let's get it out, and then we will play this e-pawn. If I have to, I will try to hide this bishop in this corner, depending on what my opponent does. I have not done very well against d4 openings, despite myself playing d4 for a long time. Okay, is that going to be one of these where he tries to come out here and trap my bishop, or where he tries to come in here? I'm going to go ahead and play h6. That way I don't have to worry about it. And then I will play e6. I'm going to play e6 now. Then I can get this bishop out. Well, not there because of that. Also, I don't ever know when it's a good time to take this pawn. I do know if I develop my dark squared bishop right now, they can just push that forward. So what if I push this pawn forward first, and then I don't have to worry about their c-pawn coming forward, and I can develop my dark squared bishop where I want it. All right, that pawn is defended right now by my knight, so I'm going to go ahead and develop this and try to castle. Since my opponent did that so confidently, I'm assuming that's a move in the Queen's Gambit, but I don't know. I don't remember the queen coming over there so quickly. Okay, now they're trying to double up on this pawn, I guess, because, I mean, I was about to put my queen here. Is that a mistake? I'm going to go ahead and put my queen there, right? And the pawns have begun lunging forward. Well, good for them. Good for those pawns. Let's go here and then see if we can try something over there, maybe. Is this where this pawn comes in? I don't know. We might have both already gone way off book. I have no idea what my opponent... maybe they just set that there because it's a good outpost square for the knight. Maybe that's the idea here. Okay, they want a bishop trade. I guess I'm okay with that. And then I will put this right here and see if their queen goes back and maybe comes around the other way, or if the pawn takes. If the pawn takes, I will take right back. Of course, if they do anything other than take that pawn or move their queen, I'm going to take their queen. Okay, they did move their queen. Now I think I should take this pawn, but my knight's still not developed. Yeah, I should do it. And now I have a pawn that's getting close. It's past midway. But now I need to get this knight out of where it is. Maybe come around this way so I can develop this rook over to the B file, which is open. They have moved their queen back one further. Let's get this knight out and put this rook on the B file. I mean, they're trying to get another knight in here, which I guess is fine. Wait, yeah, something is guarding that pawn. I was wondering about coming in here, but their bishop is still guarding that pawn. What about putting my knight in there? That's a good outpost for my knight, isn't it? Okay, I'll do that, and that allows me to push my F pawn. I assume they're about to put one of their knights in there. They did, and it's attacking my knight, which is defended. So let's go ahead and see if they really want that trade now. And if they do, I will trade. Right there on d7. They did. Okay. And now I don't think they will put the other knight in there. Oh, they're going to want to get my knight out. All right. Well, I mean, they can. I still haven't moved my rook to the b file, I noticed. And of course, this is going to give me a pawn square or something. What if I got this pawn out of the way, this like so, if they want to take that knight? They might. Oh, I have the, if they take and I take with that pawn, I will have the pawn X there. That's one of, yeah. Oh, look, I got it. That's one of the Rosen trophies. Okay. That's not what I was going for, but I noticed that it was about to happen. I got it. I got the pawn X. All right, this bishop's coming around the mountain, I guess. If it's going there, can't I just stop that by pushing this pawn? I think so. I would like to move my queen over one, and that way if their f-pawn ever moves, I will have a direct route to their h-pawn. Oh, they want to trade a pawn here? Okay. I don't know why we couldn't. And then when they take with their queen, which I assume they'll do, can I put this rook over here? Like so, and see what they do. I assume they'll go back, and then that'll give me a little time to move my queen. I don't know if we're doing well or not, but the little counter here says I'm up a pawn. I don't remember when that happened. Okay, they moved over. I'm going to also move over, helping defend this, helping defend that, and this, and that pointed this way. So yeah, I would like for them to move their f-pawn now. Oh, my phone made a noise. Somebody just texted me. Oh, they've moved their g-pawn. Hopefully it wasn't important. Oh, it's a test. Well, it's a test of the city's emergency broadcast system. Okay. I guess it's a good thing our city has that. I don't know what to do about that. Should I move my king? I don't know. Or should I start trying to get rooks up here? Like doubling up on my rooks maybe. That comes, I don't know if I should take it or push past. And yeah, the text distracted me a little bit, but not that much. I just checked to make sure it wasn't my wife. Okay. Oh, I can bring the rook back. The whole idea here was to double up. It didn't really matter where on the file my rook was. I just didn't want to go one further because then they move their queen and it's being attacked by the bishop. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do about their g-pawn. Okay, now I am gonna, oh no, see? Yeah, see, they thought I was about to move my a-rook, so they moved their queen to, so the bishop's hitting that pawn. Okay, well, let's do this then. And if they want to trade, we will trade. I'm maintaining a very small time advantage that I'm going to try to keep up as the game progresses. They moved their king instead of trading bishops. Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of that bishop because it was annoying me. And then I'm going to do this so I can come around like so. They might try to thwart that with putting another rook on that file, or they might keep pushing over here, which was getting a little annoying. And now, of course, I don't have this battery. But that battery with my bishop wasn't doing anything because of that pawn that they weren't moving and I couldn't get rid of. So this, I hope, will allow me to come around and target that pawn. Okay. Oh, they want to line up on my c pawn. Oh, all right. Are we just going to get rid of the rooks? I think we're going to get rid of the rooks. Let's do it. They're going to, and then I'm going to have to, I guess, come over here because I've got some weak pawns this way. Oh boy. Let's go this way. I'm still protecting that pawn, but not that one. It's been a long time, I think, since I've had a game where we ended up with queens and pawns. But I have two backward pawns here. Oh, they saw that I was thinking about that. All right. Well, let's see what we can do here. I'm not going to be able to guard all three of those pawns is the problem here. I can come back here and guard these two, but I won't be able to guard all three. But maybe I don't need to guard my rear e pawn because it's protecting the f file from where it is. Oh, I can't go there anymore now, can I? That was sneaky. Okay. Well, they're coming around this way. Maybe I can come around this way, right? And try to come in like so and get around behind theirs. They're trying to get around behind mine. Maybe I can get behind theirs. Now they can't move that pawn if they wanted to, but they still might move the g pawn. I don't know. They've gone there. Oh, I got a passed pawn right here. Can I do it? Wait, if I go to b4 and they take and I take, I'm one square closer to promotion than they are. Okay, let's see if they want a queen trade. It looks like that's what it's going to come down to. That might not have been my best move, but I am trying to maintain my time advantage and block them from getting their queen back down through here again. Oh, they've gotten out. They're still protecting that pawn, but not that one. What if I come this way? Now I'm aiming at that pawn, still protecting two of mine, and have about a minute and a half time advantage. Oh, they've done that. Okay. Should I check first or take that pawn first? I'm going to check first. I think. Okay, and then I will take this. Now I have a passed pawn. My opponent does not have a passed pawn. I'm going to check here and get this pawn. I think I'm winning, but I don't know, and I'm going to try to be really careful because I don't want to mess this up at the end. I have definitely played opponents who, when I thought I was winning or was definitely winning, had no trouble defeating me. So I want to avoid that if I can. Now, all 3 of their remaining pawns are separated. I just have, sorry, wow, my phone is just lighting up today. I usually turn that volume down before I start these. Oh, my opponent has moved. Sorry, I've got to turn this volume off before it... Okay. I think I can win if we trade queens now. Is that what we should try since I'm low on time? I'm not as low on time as them, though. Or should I push a pawn? Wait. Oh, they resigned. And I got 13 points for that. Is that because I waited 2 weeks to play my next rapid game? Okay, well, the eval bar has shown up there. It's visible on the left. It says I have a minus 4.7 advantage, so I don't have to guess anymore. E3 was my best move. Okay, see, that's what I was considering. I'm going to run the game review in a second, but let me close this out. I was definitely considering this because they're not guarding that square. And then if my opponent made a move to come after it, like getting in front of it or something, I was going to check here on E4, which would not only protect my E-pawn, but be attacking their D-pawn, where I would still be protecting the E-pawn. That's what I was about to do, but I was also wondering if I shouldn't maybe push this one, or if I should try to check first. That was under consideration as well, checking on F3, because I thought that would leave them basically with the only choice of trading queens, and I would lose a pawn there. I knew that, and their king would end up right there on F3. My E-pawn would be gone, and I wouldn't technically have any passed pawns yet, but I would have a 5-3 pawn majority. The only problem was that their king would be closer to the center pawns here, especially this cluster, and of course, once they were able to wipe those out, that's what I was considering right there at the end. When we would trade, I would take here, they would take there. Okay, so their king would be here, then I would have to bring my king. They would bring their king to F4, and I could come over, and then what would they do? So I think I would have been okay. But yeah, I think the E3 was definitely best. That's what I was leaning toward, but that's what it says there. And my opponent surprised me by going this far and then resigning. So let's run the game review. I'm sure there was a point. Is the eval bar? Yeah, it's barely on screen. I'm sure there was a point at which I made mistakes. And oh, the graph says that I was ahead or even the whole time. Okay, so I didn't ever give my opponent an advantage, but I definitely gave away some of mine. I blundered once and I had 3 misses. Okay, past experience tells me that all the misses will not be listed in the move list. There's 2 of them. Oh, they were all in the middle, all right there in a little cluster. Where's the other miss? As usual, the misses are not all listed on the move list, so we're going to have to find the other one. That's frustrating, chess.com. I know, nobody from chess.com is watching this video, but it's frustrating nonetheless. So why do they list 2 of them? That's a miss, that's a miss, there's a blunder. But this up here says I had 3 misses. Nothing else. Not even... Wait, aren't the inaccuracies listed here sometimes? What's going on? It said I had 7 inaccuracies, but none of them are listed here. Well, let's just do it. I'm going to click through kind of fast so I don't waste your time. If I find a point that seems interesting, I will stop. Those are all book moves. That's a book move. That was... Okay, that did not list itself as a book move, but that was only good. Okay, bishop to F5 was good here. Okay, that was best, and now we're right at even. I'm waiting on this to stabilize here, but it does not list H6 as one of my moves. It lists H5 as one of my moves. Well, why didn't I think of that? I didn't think of it because I don't know what purpose it serves. They're not planning on putting a piece here, and I wasn't planning on going all the way with it. I just wanted to make a hole for my bishop. Okay, let's see. Did it say H6 was bad? No, H6 was fine. Okay, it just wasn't the top 3 that Stockfish chose. Okay, that was excellent. We're close to even. E6 was my best move. My opponent was worried about me bringing my bishop all the way here, apparently, so they played A3. It's not listed here, but it said it was fine. Now, what I was worried about is getting my bishop to D6 and then dropping their pawn in here. Now, it says they wouldn't do that. It says if I played bishop to D6, they would play B4. I think I said that during the game. I was worried about that pawn. That explains my next move, but it was fine, but it shifted the balance just a little bit. We're still very close to even. Okay, queen to A4 was not one of the moves here, but was it good? Oh, it was good. We're still at even. Now I can play bishop to D6. Oh, it was listed for a second, but it went away. Engine thinks maybe just here, or maybe A5 now. Queen to C7 now. Okay, because the engine already saw their knight coming after my C-pawn. Okay, so that was fine then. One of these lines here has us both castling. That's what happened. Okay, so we're both playing very well. Nobody's really messed up yet. That was their best move. That was one of my best moves. That was their best move. My best move. Okay, now here my opponent made a mistake. What they should have done was brought their queen back, or put this knight over here on f3, or brought their queen back just a little ways. But they played bishop to d3, which is, I'm sorry, the Stockfish says my top move is to take their knight with my dark squared bishop. Well, I am not an expert, so I might be mistaken here, but I thought that my dark squared bishop was my quote-unquote good bishop, because these central pawns are all on light squares, forming this kind of a partial triangle here, and my other bishop is trapped outside that pawn chain, which makes it not a bad bishop, right, if it's on the front side of the pawn chain, but it can't come back through because all those pawns are on light squares, so I don't know why I would want to give up my good bishop for this knight. Is it because of this pawn? Meaning that, this bishop's not really going to go anywhere? I don't know. I thought once we got rid of some of these pieces, they might try to push that f pawn, and that would open up this dark square bishop, but maybe not. The engine definitely thinks I should trade it for this knight now. Hello, Future Shan here. While editing this video, I think I figured out what the issue was. If I took the knight first on e5, that removes the defender of their light squared bishop. So when they took back my dark squared bishop with their pawn, the f pawn probably, then I would take their light squared bishop and be pointed at their rook. Now at that point, the f pawn, which had become their front e pawn, could take my knight on f6, but then I would take their rook on f1, and it gets pretty complicated. But anyway, that's what it looks like to me in hindsight, which I didn't see while I was analyzing directly after the game. Now, back to the program. The engine definitely thinks I should trade it for this knight now, or play b5 now, or take their bishop, which is my third best move, but it was counted as inaccurate. See, there's the inaccuracy symbol, but the inaccuracy symbol wasn't in the move list for some reason over on the game review. But I still have a slight edge. Obviously, there should take back with the knight. They did. And then it's having trouble deciding between b5 and c5. It has settled on c5 as my best move, but b5's pretty close. Okay, so I don't feel bad. I haven't made a mistake yet, and I'm up very, very slightly. They were supposed to take it, at which point I would have taken back, and then they would have taken their queen all the way home. But they went there. That allows me to take their c-pawn. Was it right? Yes, no. Oh, I was supposed to take this way. Wait, no, it's okay. Either way's the same. Okay. So I'm up -2 here. They should have taken it with the knight, but they moved back one more, and I should have... Oh, wow. Okay, well, I know that's a miss. I don't know, is it one of the misses that was listed in the move list? Where are we in the move list? Yeah, okay, this miss was listed in the move list. I should have just taken the knight with with this pawn. It was a pawn fork, and I didn't do anything about it. My second best move was to go to g4. I played my third best move, which was counted as a miss, but I still have an advantage. They were supposed to get that knight out of danger, but did they? They did not. So I'm supposed to take it. Oh, I missed it again. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's too bad that when you're watching the live part of this game where I was playing it, that you're in the future. So there's no way for you to send me a message to tell me to take that knight. Why? Oh my goodness. I did not see the knight at all. I just saw this pawn getting past the halfway point and pushing their queen back a little farther. Oh wow, I feel so inadequate now that I did not see that multiple times. Now they're supposed to get that knight out of danger again. They brought it in here, which was a good move, and I should have put this knight over here. Okay, I think maybe what the engine is coming up with here, maybe, I'm trying to understand what the engine is suggesting. I think because of all the pawns in the middle, it's a fairly closed, locked position. I have all my pawns. My opponent has all their pawns but one, so knights are going to be better than bishops. So I think it's saying to come over here and just hold down this locked position. I would be protecting the knight in the center, ready to replace it at a moment's notice. And again, it's suggesting I might just go ahead and trade off my dark squared bishop for this knight. That's the third suggested move. I thought we'd be fine if we traded knights here and I would get a little bit of a head start on these pawn things. But that's what, it counted that as my blunder. And we're back to even now if they take c4. What? This is where you higher rated players come in. Those of you that might be 1400, 1600, 1800, and I know at least one person watching my channel is rated officially by FIDE over 2000, or at least has watched me in the past. Tell me why that's good, and tell me why I wouldn't take it. Stockfish thinks I wouldn't take it. Yeah, the top line is for them to take on c4. Correct me if that's not c4, but I'm pretty sure that it is, and I would just play a5. Okay, I'm pretty sure if they took that, I would take with my pawn, and they would get a pawn back. I assumed they would take back. I don't know, because it says I wouldn't take with my pawn, but I would. Yeah, somebody explained that to me. I'm not going to follow that entire line out, but I definitely know why my opponent didn't see that move and played their second best move, which was counted as a miss. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what I would have played in their position too. I mean, they didn't have a lot of good moves, right? They could have gone in here, I guess, threatening my rook, but then I just would have moved the rook. That was actually their third best move, and it says I would have brought the rook over to b8. I don't know if I would have gone that far. I might have just gone a little bit and then tried to trade off the knights again. But that's their third best move. Their first move, sorry, I almost said their first best, which doesn't make any sense, but it's their goodest, firstest move to take c4. Okay, but yeah, they played probably what I would have played here, and of course I took back my only move. Knight to d2 is their best move. f5 is my best move. Them trading off here is best. Oh, and it was much better to take with the f-pawn. Stockfish wanted to have the pawn x2. Look at that. If I took with my d-pawn, it would not have been good. Okay, there's the x. So I know I've had it before, but I didn't remember it. But we can all remember this when you saw it happen here today on November 15th, 2023. I got the pawn x again. That was their best move. c5 was what? No, that's not c5. This is c5. c5 was my best move. Okay. Maybe the idea here, Stockfish knows that it got the x, so now it doesn't care to continue having it. I have an extra c pawn. I might as well try to trade it off for their d pawn and make this. Okay. It wants to make the dark squared bishop useful. And I suspected that they were going to try to come in here. Right? I tried to prevent that with a5. Stockfish doesn't say a5 was a big problem, but I could have just done this. That prevents them from coming in too. If they take with the pawn, I move up with the bishop. Then if they bring the bishop in, I suppose I could have traded at that point because I wouldn't have taken there because then they would have gotten my rook. Okay, I think I understand this, but a5 was good. Oh, wait, the numbers are the same. Sorry, I pointed, but you can't see me pointing unless I point back here. The numbers are the same. Go back. A5's now listed as one of the top moves. There it is. It's my third best move, and it's very similar to the others. Okay. So it's not just good. It's as good as the other ones. It prevented what I thought they were planning. That's something that I don't often do. I often forget to ask myself, what is my opponent trying to accomplish? And here I thought it was pretty clear they were trying to accomplish getting their bishop here to trade off. They were willing to double a set of their pawns to get rid of my bishop, which would allow them to move their f-pawn, and it would help open up this rook. They should have just gone here to use their bishop as a pawn, or brought their a-rook over to the d-file, which doesn't make any sense. That rook's not going anywhere. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, it makes sense to somebody. Or queen to d1, which doesn't make sense to me either. Okay. I'm not sure why they did that, though. Because I should just take it, right? Yeah, I should. Okay. Because I have an extra c-pawn. I can get rid of one. I assumed that they would take back. It was their only not blundering move. Again, c5. Not sure about that. Or a4. Or queen to e7. Oh, lining up with the bishop. Okay. But that was inaccurate. Wait. How ahead was I before? Okay, we were at minus 1.4, 1.5, and that took us back under -1. All right. They played one of their top 3 moves, which was just a sidestep, but now we're back to minus 1.4. I'm supposed to play a4 again? Oh, I guess to prevent their pawn from moving, maybe? Oh, and also I would have been guarding that square. Yeah, that became a problem later, remember? Okay, so I get a4. Rook to c8. Don't understand that. Or just move my king over. I didn't think of moving my king over. I went the wrong way with my queen for some reason, and now they're supposed to play a4, but they didn't. They tried to distract me with a king side attack. Oh, remember how I took my rook up there, but then I had to move it back? It had said just for a second I could have just played rook to b6 now. But instead I did that. a4 is their best move, and then, oh, wait, it says I should have gone forward. Really? It says if I had gone forward, they would have just dropped their queen back to attack my rook. Oh, but then I could have come over. Okay, well, I get that now. Okay, this was one of my top moves to just drop back one. That was one of their better moves. Queen to e7. Oh, maybe trying to circumvent the g-pawn or help protect this square in case they moved their g-pawn. Queen to d8, I think, has the same objectives in mind. Or c5 again. It says they would take and I would take with the bishop. Okay, so that was inaccurate. We're getting closer to 0. That was inaccurate. c5 is my top move again. But now it says when they took it, I would just move my rook in front of it. But here's where I decided to trade off bishops. That was counted as okay. They're, of course, supposed to take back. c5 again, I did not. I still wasn't sure about c5. Rook to b3, but I played rook to b4. Accurate. One of my better moves to double up there. That was not among their best moves, but I wasn't supposed to trade. I was supposed to step over. Or just drop this back and leave that guy sitting up there. He's fine, right? He's fine. So I could have just dropped her back one. I guess that's counted as a waiting move. Or rook to c4. Okay, I get all those. This was not fine, but I thought I would be okay, and I was trying to maintain a little bit of time advantage. I don't know if they were distracted on their end. Maybe their connection started getting laggy, or maybe it was getting difficult and they were having to think more. But either way, I was trying to take advantage of that. Of course, after the first trade, my best move is to continue trading. It says d6 is queen to d6 is my best move, and e7 again, or move my king. All right. Well, I did that. That's inaccurate. Because I was thinking maybe about coming around here or helping my h-pawn defend that g5 square. Stockfish wasn't worried about that, said they should have come in here now, but they moved their king first. Again, I'm supposed to come up, go to e7 or f8. Okay, so this diagonal then is very important. Yeah, when I noticed that all of the top recommended moves place my queen in a similar position or a related position, and it's not about what I thought, which was this diagonal. It's about this diagonal here from f8 over to a3, because all the suggested moves put me on that diagonal. But d6 is the best one, I guess, because it protects these two pawns and aims at that square. And it says if I played that, they would go to c2, and then I would go to b4. Okay, I did eventually make my way to b4, but we took our time getting there. This was one of their best moves earlier, but it's not now. d6 is again among my best moves, and this time I did it thinking about maybe trying to go around this way. They went back a little too far, and I'm supposed to play c5 again. Okay, here's my other miss. I said I wanted to find my other miss. It's queen to b4. That's counted as a miss. That's what I played just now, but it is my third best move. It's not that big of a miss. It's just that for the 50th time or whatever, I didn't see c5 as being a great move. So that shouldn't have been counted as a miss, and I think the graph might have been incorrect here. Because it shows we got back to even, but we didn't. At no point there did we get back to even. Okay, my best move. Not good for them, because it allowed that. That was good. Was I supposed to take the pawn now? I was. Okay, and then when they took back, I was supposed to check on g5 to get the pawn with my queen. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. I did that right, and I did. That was their best move, and then here my opponent resigned. Okay, sorry it took so long to go through that. I was surprised in a couple of places. I was mystified by the constant suggestions to play c5. I think I understood it the first time it suggested it, when our bishops were still on the board. I wasn't sure about the other times that it suggested it. And definitely the part where it said my opponent should have taken a pawn, and I wouldn't have taken back with the pawn, where the knight was in the middle. Any of you guys can explain that? That's what the comment section's for. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.